Hello and welcome to making a barrel in Blender. Brand new project, which is going to start off by getting rid of everything. So click and drag to select, hit delete. And starting with a new area, we're going to do Shift A and get our cylinder in. Now there's way too much detail. I want this to make a low poly, so I'm going to go over to add cylinder and change this. Instead of 32, we're going to go for a nice 12. And yeah, happy with all the other settings. Now I want my cylinder to sit right on top. So we're going to do a good old select object, G, Z, pull it up. And if I want a bit more precision, I can look over here and do this by eye, G, Z again, just pull it down a bit. Or if I press N, I can go over here and just make this a solid 1 on the Z-axis in location. So it's just sitting nice and pretty there. Now we want to add some details. So I'm going to press N to give it that. Now we're going to go into edit mode. Control R. And this creates an edge loop. And you can use your scroll wheel to add multiple edge loops. I just want one more there. And you can move around a bit, but I'm quite happy with it being dead center. So right mouse click. And there we go. And I just want to scale this out a bit to create a bit of a bump. So I'm going to press S, but if you notice it goes out. Actually, I don't want it going out too much, just a wee bit. Actually, I might bring it in just a little bit more. Yeah, quite happy with that. Now I want to add a bit of bevel around here, around the edges. So I'm going to change this to my edge select. When you press 1, 2 on your keyboard, I just want to press this. I'm going to hold down Alt, click around, Shift, Alt. So I click both these, Control B, and just pull a little bit, and we create the brackets here. And once I'm happy with, don't look too much, yeah, that's fine. Now I want to pull them out a wee bit, so I'm going to press E. And you notice if I just move, it's just going to go off in a direction. Well, I'm going to press S. Now if I pull them out, you see they go up a bit. If I press Shift Z, it turns off the Z axis, so I'm only affecting this Y and X axis. So I just want them out just a little bit. There we go, that's fine. And now I just want to add a bit of detail to the top and bottom of the barrel. So I'm going to go to my face mode, or you can press 3 on your keyboard. Select the top, hold Shift, select the bottom. And we're going to extrude, so I'm going to press E. Now you notice it's moving around. I'm going to press S. And again, you notice it's going up and down. If I press Shift Z, it only goes inwards again. So I just want it to create kind of a lip going around here. And I want to make a bit of an indent. So I'm going to press E. You notice if I pull up and down, the bottom here goes up and down, which is kind of weird. So I'm going to press S, Z. So that way it only moves up and down. And I'm quite happy with that lip. You notice at the bottom, it's symmetrical at the bottom. So I'm very happy with that. And at this point, you could potentially leave your barrel as such, but I like to have a bit of differentiation on my barrel. So I'm just going to get the vertice, and I can click on these, press G, and just move it around. But if you want a bit more control, you can click on the proportion editing here. So if I press G, you see I got a little circle here, so I can move things around. If I use my scroll wheel, I can zoom in and out to make my area smaller. And just few tweaks here now. Grab this one here, move it up a bit. I'm probably going to grab this one, move it down. Because nothing is absolutely perfect. We want things to be a tad different. And the changes don't have to be very drastic, like up here. It could just be very, very subtle changes. Like it's going a bit to the side here. And you can take your time. You don't have to do as many as I'm doing. You can just do the odd few. Actually, I'm going to keep those uniform just in case we're stacking our barrels on top of the other. If you don't like something, Control Z. And I actually might change this a wee bit. Let me bring this. Now I'm quite happy with that. So there's my barrel, looking a bit imperfect. And to make sure that to give it a bit more imperfection, we're going to add some little notches here and there. So I'm going to hold shift, grab these two vertices up here. And we're going to bevel a bit. So we're going to do Control B just to bevel. So I'm going to pull it out a little bit. Now you notice I haven't got an edge on the inside, so I'm going to use my scroll wheel. You can see I could create multiple ones, but I just want that one in the center. Now, just to show you, I haven't gone too far with this. If I Control Z so you can see what I'm doing, and bevel again, you can see that if I just keep going, it goes all the way to the edge. But the bottom bit does not go any further than it needs to. So I'm quite happy with that there. And now it's just a case of bringing this down. Now you may think, I'll just do GZ and bring it down. Ooh, I want to turn this off, sorry. Try that again. But the problem is we've got this little bit of a lip here. So there's another thing we could do. We could press GG, and what it does, we could just slide it down to the vertices so it fits nicely. Do the same for the other side. GG. Ooh, there we go. Now, the only problem is, if I click away, it looks as though they're together. If I click once, press G and move around, they are not together. There is a way to fix this. So I'm going to select all the vertices by pressing A. Then we're going to merge everything by pressing M. Now we could merge, bring everything to a point, but I just want to merge by distance. If I click onto here, you can see at the bottom it says removed 2 vertices. Those are the 2 we had here. And you can also over here increase the merge distance. And if I do so, you can see it goes really weird, but I'm going to press Control Z. I'm quite happy with that. And just to check that everything's okay. Oop, so I need to do that again. A, M, distance. Put it back to what it was. 0.0001. There we go. We like our zeros. And I'm just going to speed this up and add a few more notches here and there. You could do so on the barrel here. Actually, I'll do it one more time just to show you. Just grab 2 vertices, holding shift to select the 2, Control B. And you can make it quite a big notch. I don't want it too big. And remember, if you haven't got that middle bit, just scroll wheel. Click. I'm going to click this vertex here. Press G twice. GG. Down. Do the same here. GG. Down. And I'm going to press A and then M and merge by distance. And I can see remove 2 vertices, so I know it has worked. And I'm just going to keep going and just add a few more notches here and there. I'm going to speed up the video a bit. Okay, I'm quite happy with my barrel at the moment. If you want to continue editing things, just grab some edges here. And let's say I want to mess around with these notches a bit. So I can press G, just move it around. Again, editing those notches. That this barrel's seen a lot of love. And just take your time. With some of these notches. And to add the finishing touch, because it's low poly, we're just going to keep the materials quite basic. So I'm just going to go over to material here. And just going to go for faces. Press A to select everything. Click over here, click on new. Material 0, I'm just going to get a nice browny color. Hit 10, go RGB. Actually, let's change the color here. Now, as you can see here, I'm not seeing any color. That's because we're just in the solid view. So we want to go to the shading, click here. I can see my brown color. Actually, I want to go more orangey. Lighten the color there. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. And now I just want to select the center bits here. Nope, it does not want to select all that. So I'm going to do this manually. So I'm just using my middle mouse button and holding Shift. Okay, and do the same for the other side, holding Shift. Really handy that we only have a low poly barrel. And here I can just press Ctrl+ to increase the area selection. I want to assign a new material to this. I want to click this plus over here. Allows us to click new material. And I'm just going to call this metal. And just give it kind of a slightly bluey, dark bluey color. I'll click assign, so it assigns that color there. And rename this one wood. And quite happy with that. Now I do want to make this a bit more metallic. So over here, the metallic, I can just increase that. Oop, not on the wood. I'll do this on the metal. Make it a bit more shiny. And to really see how this would look, you can go over to shading here. So you can see the barrel in all its lovely glory. Now I feel the wood is a bit too much, so I can click on the wood. And just play around the settings. I don't want it metallic at all. I want it quite flat. So again, playing around with the settings here, you can decrease or increase the roughness. So you can make it extra shiny. I don't want it too shiny. So again, you can play around until you're really happy. Going back to layout and back to editing mode. And there you go. That's your barrel. Ready to use in game. Till next time, see you later.